This is the only lock on New Junction Canal. It's a Syke House lock, and has been informed that the tanker is on its way up. That's a treat for you, boys and girls. Scares the willies out of me, but an interesting addition to this little waterways narrative. This tanker goes up once or twice a week, comes from Gaul or Grimsby, into the heart of Rotherham, where there's an oil refinery. Now you might think that's a bit of a strange thing to happen, but when you consider that it saves somewhere in the region of about 40 to 80 lorries on the road, tankers on the road, I think that's worth doing. Right, so I'm going to skip now and start again when the huge beast of a thing is passing. That's a long stretch from Syke House down to that lift bridge there, and those two arrived at the bridge as we opened it. So to the narrow boat as it went through. So you want to try and get up this stretch as quickly as you can, because there's an oil tanker coming up from Rotherham. And the woman looked at me as if I was insane, and then just kind of like turned away. So it'll be a lovely surprise for them. Because on these long stretches, this is where the tanker really picks up a bit of speed, and they technically have right of way. So, woman in narrowboat. I hope you don't shit yourself too much. She sort of looked at me as if to say, "Tanker, are you mad?" Oh well. Right, so we'll wait and see where we meet it. I usually tend to believe there's a rule of waterways that you'll only meet a tanker on a bend, a narrow bend at that, but there aren't any on the new junction. So provided that we meet him on the new junction somewhere near a bridge, he'll have slowed down. We'll see. It's a little bit like a lottery or a raffle. Where will we meet the beast? Oh, down to the last swing bridge, and we still haven't bumped into, it's probably not the right term I should be using, the oil tanker. However, something about this bridge which is last time we came through here, down there I saw a tiny little boat. I went and asked the owner. The rest is history. Well, that's where Bob came from. So thank you, Mr. Previous Bob owner. So this is Low Lane Bridge. I think it's Low Lane Bridge. And the only slightly worrying thing, well, it's not really worrying, well, it's a little bit worrying, is that the oil tanker's coming up, and where we don't want to meet him, it's just there. Ow! Bloody bit on the guillotine bit at the bottom, because that would be somewhat inconvenient for both of us. But I've been listening to the wherever it is, listening to the VHF, and he don't really sound, unzoom that, he don't really sound that close. So I think probably going to get to the bottom of New Junction, and we'll meet him no doubt on the bend just going into Long Sandal Lock. That woman and I'm going to have a shock in that narrow boat. Right, back soon, boys and girls. Now the reason you don't want to meet a tanker coming through here is that it fills up this entire channel. Now let's suppose he's 200 ton. And what you've got is a 200 ton hole in the water up there. And in order for him to get from there to here, 200 ton of water has got to get from there up there. Does that make sense, boys and girls? So if you're sat up there, suddenly 200 tons worth of water comes rushing into here and you're likely to go with it. Not a good idea if there's a tanker coming the other way. Very basic physics. Still very impressive engineering, these guillotines to stop that down there flooding this up here. So we're now at the bottom of New Junction. Well, very nearly. It heads off to the left in a second to the Staniford and Kidby Canal, and then carries on further south and comes to the Sheffield and South Yorkshire navigation. Well, this whole thing is the Sheffield and South Yorkshire navigation, but further down here is where it becomes the Sheffield and whatever bit. So, hey, there's a dog, don't fall in. Hey, man's best friend. You won't be if you fall in. We have made it to the bottom of New Junction Canal. Where will we meet the beast? I can tell the anticipation is mounting. Just coming out of the Staniford and Kidby Canal there is another boat. Good news is the tanker will squish them first, and while the Marine Accident Investigation Bureau are sorting that out, we'll sneak past. Now they won't know there's a tanker coming downstream. Sorry, that's really cruel, but I'm just going to keep behind them and I'll be able to tell when the tanker's on its way, because I've got a very good sense of smell and the wind is blowing in my direction. Here he is, he ain't little, look at that. What a beautiful sight. I've just got on a radio to tell him I'm going on the wrong side so he can have the deep water. What a beautiful, beautiful vessel. If you see that when it's sat in the water, it's right the way up to the gunnels. That is a lovely, lovely vessel. And the Humber Pride before it. And yeah, it's big. And yeah, it's scary, but the thing is, these keep these commercial waterways open. And when it's sat deep in the water, right up to, it almost looks like you can't see anything on top. And it does all the dredging because it sits so low in the water. So it not only saves on dredging, it keeps these big locks used. And if there weren't any commercial traffic on this waterway, what would be the incentive to keep these huge locks open? You see the way his cabin went down to get under that bridge. Beautiful. Absolutely a stunning vessel. And it takes so many vehicles. Oh, fucking idiot. Right, it takes so many vehicles off the road. So it's win-win for everybody. Okay, yeah, okay, it's a bit sad that we need oil refineries, but this boat can't run on solar power. It needs diesel, alright, red diesel, but it needs diesel. Whenever you go anywhere, on a bus, by car, taxi, minibus, ambulance, they all need those fossil fuels at the moment. Alright, one day, quite soon, hopefully, they won't, but they do at the moment. So tankers like that take all of those road tankers into one great big boat and sail it up and down a canal. Fantastic, win-win. Yes, I'm a bit evangelistic when it comes to using big oil tankers like that, because they make sense. And yeah, okay, it'd be nice one day when everything's running on electric and whatever, but that's not going to be immediate. So until then, yeah, good on you, like the tanker. Guess where we are, boys and girls. That should be a bit of a giveaway. As I've mentioned before, what a wonderful place it is. That's the Minster, and we're in Doncaster. Now, I've always evangelised a little bit about Doncaster. The moorings are nice. The actual city centre, or is it town or city? I'm not sure. One of those. Whatever it is, it's nice. It's got a lovely market, but it's really depressing. The amount of closed shops, the amount of pound shops, e-cig shops, cash converter type things, it's really ultimately depressing and very, very sad. And it's a great shame. It's an incredible shame, because Doncaster's a wonderful place with wonderful people, and yet, I don't know, it's almost like a haven of social deprivation. It really is tragically sad. Anyway, that's it for today, children. We're off to get something to eat this evening, and tomorrow start heading back in earnest to Rotherham. Night night, children.